Well, I'm going to sing this Mississippi River blues. These songs, these blues songs, like I was saying last night, they really reflect the human mind or a state of mind uh, at the time, and they don't really generally tell a story so much from beginning to end as to present thoughts and ideas, sometimes connected to one another, sometimes contrasting. So you have to understand that when you listen to these blues. This is a Mississippi River blues. Uh, Tom mentioned Big Bill's recording of this song in the 1930s. He was from Arkansas, Big Bill Brunsey. His real name was Lee Bradley, but he went north for some reason, renamed himself. But he was from Arkansas originally, though he claimed he was from Mississippi. Uh, but there's a very nice biography of Big Bill Brunsey, a very important artist. But this is an older song, this Mississippi River Blues. I got some of my version from a woman named Vanzula Hunt that used to sing in, she sang in medicine shows and traveling tent shows, the Royal American show that used to come through the tri-state area for years. She was on Bessie Smith's last show in Mississippi in the Delta. And she played a little guitar too, and she sang this song, the Mississippi River Blues. Well, that Mississippi River, it's so long and deep and wide. I can see my baby standing on the Arkansas side. Well, I can't go crossing, Lord, and I can't go round. I can't go in 'cause I'm scared that I might drown. Ah, babe, oh, babe, don't hold your pretty head so high. Every living soul got to lay right down and die. Well, I asked her for a nickel, Lord, and she give me a dime. I don't see what makes her do it every time. What make you do it, baby? I don't know. I walked all the way from East St. Louis today, and I didn't have but the one thin lousy dime. And before I would spend it for my particular use, I would spend it all on that loving gal of mine. Yes, I would. I went up on Lookout Mountain I looked down in the deep blue sea. I seen a shrimp and a tadpole trying to do the shimmy shee. What kind of dance was that? Oh, honey, you take the southern. Lord, and I'll take the Santa Fe. When you get in Memphis, pretty mama, look around for me. I'll look around, baby. So, that's old time blues. Say Madam Hunt, as they called her, and I learned that from. She was born in the 19th century. So let me see. See what we got here. Gotta get it close. My eyes are not as good. Oh yeah. Someone mentioned this to me. We were talking last night, having dinner, about the river being sort of a barrier. See, I'm from over on the other side of the river, and nowadays, of course, you got bridges you can just drive across, but it's still sort of a psychological barrier, and it certainly was in the earlier years. But people that had a reason to would cross it, like the last song says. You can see my baby standing on the other side. Another reason to cross it for a lot of people from over on the Memphis side was to go over to Newport, Arkansas, to see Aunt Caroline die. She's a fortune-telling woman that never told a lie. So I'm going to play the jazz horn. W.C. Handy used that line in one of his early blues. Of course, he was based in Memphis, but his band used to play over in Arkansas too, and people would sing about Aunt Caroline die. Yeah, so I'm going to add the jazz horn in this. If I can get it positioned right. Oops, well, that's what I got to do there. Okay. I got a whole band that plays this. I'm going to Newport, baby, just to see Aunt Caroline die. I'm going to Newport, baby, just to see Aunt Caroline die. She's a fortune-telling woman, ain't ever told a lie. I believe to my soul, my baby got a black cat bone. I believe to my soul, my baby got a black cat bone. I tried so hard, but I just can't leave her alone. Gonna get up in the morning, baby. Gonna catch the morning train. Gonna get up in the morning, baby. Gonna catch the morning train. I'm a rambling man and I don't deny my name. Eat my breakfast here, baby. My supper way down below. Talking about New Orleans. Eat my breakfast here, baby. My supper way down below. I'm gonna wash my face in the Gulf of Mexico. I'll play that thing. Do you remember the day, baby, I drove up in your yard? Do you remember the day, baby, I drove up in your yard? When I come to see you now, yo, other man got me barred. Yes, I just can remember the last words I heard my baby say. Yes, I just can't remember the last words I heard my baby say. Tell him what she said now. You gonna love me, David, till it be your judgment day. Had the blues this morning, baby. Been having them all day long. Had the blues this morning, baby. Been having them all day long. If the blues don't leave me, gonna take them for my 4-day song. All right. It's a little tough singing in the morning. I don't do too many performances in the morning, and so it takes a while to get your voice worked up for this kind of music. So I'm going to play you since he's singing about Newport, I'm going to play you the State of Arkansas blues. This was probably, a lot of people kind of went out on the road as hobos or itinerant workers. A lot of the blues singers did that. And they might pass through Arkansas if they weren't from here, working in gravel camps and on the river and railroad camps and lining track, and they would sing about this song about if I should die in the state of Arkansas, I want you to send my body back home to my ma. Well, if I should die in the state of Arkansas, Arkansas, well, if I should die in the state of Arkansas, I want you to send my body back home to my mom. Well, if she don't want it, just send it to my pa. Well, if she don't want it, send it to my pa. Well, if he don't want it, send it to my mother-in-law. I know she don't want it. Well, if she don't want it, just send it to Amy Lee. Well, if she don't want it, send it to Amy Lee. Well, if she don't want it, send it to my used to be. Well, if she don't want it, just cast it in the deep blue sea. Well, if she don't want it, cast it in the sea. So the fishes and the whales make a fuss all over me. So that's the state of Arkansas blues, and you can make out of that what you want. But that's a lot of singers from different states sang about that. So Arkansas was kind of known in the blues world, and of course it produced people also like Big Bill Broonzy. He was kind of almost in many ways the inventor of the Chicago style of blues, taking what he learned in Arkansas and bringing it up there to the big city. So let me see, what have I got here? This Highway 51 blues, the roads became important. Of course, the river traffic for transportation and getting across the river was the earliest way to get around considerable distances, and then trains came through, supplementing the river and making some of the places in the delta on both sides of the Mississippi more inhabitable. You could have little towns that were on rivers or even not on rivers, rivers that weren't navigable, but the trains could connect them to the ports along the more navigable rivers, the Mississippi and some of the bigger tributaries. And then, of course, the highways came in. So this is a highway song. Highway 51 was one of the big highways. It ran on the other side of the river and actually along the edge of the delta. And then there was Highway 61, ran through the delta on Mississippi, and then some in Arkansas and on up to Missouri and beyond. I'm going to sing about Highway 51. Highway 51 run right by my baby's door. Highway 51, run right by my baby's door. If I don't get that woman I'm loving, ain't going down Highway 51 no more. Oh, that 51 highway is the longest road I know. Oh, that 51 highway is the longest road I know. Well, I run from Memphis clean to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, if I should die, Lord have mercy, before my time should come, if I should die, before my time should come, what you do, man? I want you to bury my body out on Highway 51. Well, some people say now, yes they do, that the Greyhound bus don't run. Some people say that the Greyhound bus don't run. Of course they do. Just got to Millington Station, look down Highway 51. Yonder come a Greyhound, here it come now, with a tongue sticking out on the side. Yonder come a Greyhound, with a tongue sticking out on the side. But if you got your ticket, swear for God that man will let you ride. When I get lonesome and I want to have my fun, when I get lonesome and I want to have my fun, what you do? I go out to my baby's cabin out on Highway 51. All right, thank you. I'm going to play, I don't know how much time I've got, time for about one more or two more. Well, we'll see. I'm going to do this catfish blues. It's not about eating catfish, but it uses imagery from the river. You saw the slide of a pretty good sized catfish there, and they got some big ones in the river. So it quite naturally becomes an image in the blues. The geography's a little confused here. The line goes, I guess, for the sake of rhyme, if I was a catfish swimming down in the deep blue sea. But of course, I guess some parts of the river can almost seem like the deep blue sea. I saw those slides that looked more like the ocean front than the river front. So anyway, this is the Catfish Blues. A lot of singers from the Delta on both sides have done versions of this, and I've seen many performers play it. So this is kind of my interpretation, medley, whatever you would call it, of Catfish Blues. And it's an old Delta blues in the real kind of pure Deep South Delta style. Well, if I was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea, I'd have all you pretty women, Lord, now fishing down after me, fishing down after me. Well, I'm going, yes, I'm going, and your crying won't make me stay. Well, the more you cry, baby, though, further I'm on my way. Further I'm on my way. I'm gonna write a letter. I'm gonna write it just to see if my baby do she think any old thing of me, any old thing of me. I went to my baby's house and I sat down on the step. She said, come right in, David. You know my good man just now left. Good man just now. Good man just now left. If I can, come in, baby. Make me a pallet down on your floor. Leave so early in the morning till your good man never know. Good man never know. Well, I'm broke and hungry, and I'm ragged and I'm dirty too. If I clean up, pretty baby, can I spend the night with you? Spend the night with you. Okay, I'm going to do one last piece. Somebody mentioned Jimmy Rogers yesterday from Mississippi. He was a brakeman on trains and sometimes was a hobo. A lot of the railroad workers, when they couldn't get railroad work, if it was slow or they got laid off, they would take to hoboing. And Jimmy Rogers did a little bit of both. I met many black musicians that knew Jimmy Rogers, and several of them met him hoboing. They were hobos, and he was either a brakeman or a hobo. And anyway, one of Jimmy Rogers' big hits was this hobo song called "Waiting for a Train." I don't know whether I can yodel on this or not, but I'm gonna give it a try. But it's a great song, like country music. Some blues singers have done it. I'm going to do it in kind of a bluesy style. All around the water tank, waiting for a train, 1,000 miles away from home, just a sleeping in the rain. Rocks have been my pillow, boys, and the cold ground been my bed. The stars have been my blanket, and the black night's been my spread. Yo, lay, oh, lay, oh, lay. Yeah. Well, I walked up to a brakeman just to give him a line of jive. He said, if you got money, boy, I'll make sure that you ride. I haven't got a nickel, sir, not a penny can I show. Get off, you railroad bum. And he slammed the boxcar door. Yo, lay-oh, lay-oh, lay. Well, he put me off in Texas, a state I dearly love. Yes, I do. Wide open spaces all around me, and the moon and the stars up above. Nobody seemed to want me or lend me a helping hand. I'm on my way from the Frisco Bay. I'm going back to Dixieland. Yo, lay-oh, lay-oh, lay. Well, I was standing by the railroad track, smoking a cheap cigar, waiting for some train to pass just to catch me an empty car. My mind is full of trouble, boys, and my heart is full of pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, just a-waiting for a train. Yo, lay-oh, lay-oh, lay. Okay, well, thank you very much. And I hope gave you a little insight into some songs connected with the river and the river region. So,
awesome. Thank you so much, David. Are there any questions in the audience? Yeah. Excellent comments.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Acclamations. We do have some time for Q&A, so if there's any questions, just raise your hand, and if not, we will transition.
Yes.
One over here.
Thank you. That was awesome. And I'm going to show my students tomorrow in exploratory music some of this music. My question for you is just, what first got you into blues music? Like growing up, did your family listen to it, or did you somehow possibly, like, what got you first interested in blues?
I didn't grow up in any kind of cultural environment that would have put me in contact much, except a little bit. I lived in Dallas, Texas for, 1954 to 58, and that was the time when rock and roll came out, and I heard a lot of blues on the radio, people like Bo Diddley and all that, but they didn't call it blues, so I didn't think of it in those terms. Even Elvis, a good half of the songs he performed in his early career were blues, and it was in college, in my college years in the early 60s, from the folk music revival of that period, and a lot of traditional blues singers were passing through. I was at Harvard, and this was Cambridge, and it was a kind of a stop on the circuit for people, so I got to see Mississippi John Hurt and folks like that. And the first blues singer I saw was in 1962. It was Sleepy John Estes with Hammy Nixon. Sleepy John had been a popular recording artist starting in 1929 and played guitar and sang. He was blind, and Hammy Nixon played harmonica and jug with him, and I thought it was the neatest thing I'd ever seen in the music and ever seen and heard. A strange thing later on, after I moved to Memphis in 1978. The following year, I got with Hammy Nixon. Sleepy John had died in 1977, the same year as Elvis, and Hammy Nixon didn't have a musical partner anymore, a guitar player. He needed that because he played harmonica and he needed something to keep up the rhythm anyway. And so I became his guitar player for the last 5 years of his life, and learned a lot about entertainment from him. He had been a hobo. He had met Jimmy Rogers. He'd made a living, just hustled a living all of his life, and helped this blind singer, Sleepy John Estes, too. Used to drive him up to Chicago. Hammy was always the responsible one, and he kept a car, and he could drive musicians up to Chicago, make the connection with the recording studio, and bring them back down south. In fact, they got in a flood in the 1937 flood. They were driving up to Chicago, and they got on what was called a floating bridge at Hickman, Kentucky, on the river. I think it was on the Ohio there, trying to cross over, and the bridge collapsed, and the car went into the water, and they both of them nearly drowned. So they had a true connection to the river. And in fact, if you're in Brownsville, Tennessee, Sleepy John and Hammy's home, there's a very nice Delta welcome center there with a wonderful exhibit on the Mississippi River. And they have Sleepy John's last house. It's just a 2-room shotgun shack. They have the schoolhouse that Tina Turner went to, a 1-room schoolhouse built in the 1880s by ex-slaves that took up a subscription to build this school to educate the community. And that's where Tina Turner went to school there, and look where she is now. So it's quite another side of the big river over in Tennessee, the state that often gets left out, but it has a delta as well. And so, okay, I kind of rambled on in my answer, but there were a lot of other musicians that, of course, I came in contact with too, and that influenced me. I just kind of got deeper and deeper into it. It was a good time to do that, and for me, it was just a you could say a cross-cultural experience, at least at first, but it became, more personal, I guess, as the years went on. And so that's kind of the long answer, rambling answer to
No, thank you so much. Let's thank one more time David for sharing your talent and your music with us today. Thank you.
Okay.